Hi everybody, welcome to Away from the World. I'm Tara. So every year the wellness industry gives us this list of new trendy foods to try, new trendy exercises to do. All these new sets of trends promise to make us happier, healthier, more imbalanced, and more well in general. But a lot of them end up doing quite the opposite and leaving us more confused than ever before. As an Ayurvedic health coach and nutritionist, I see this pattern over and over and over throughout the years. People trying these wellness trends because they genuinely want to feel better, but it ends up having the opposite effect on them. In this video, we're going to break down 6 wellness trends this year and how they don't really work the way they're supposed to and what to try instead. Okay, let's start with trend number 1, protein everything. Protein powders, protein bread, protein cereal, protein cookies, protein brownies, protein, well, you get the point, right? If it exists, people have put protein in it and marketed it as healthy, but is it really as healthy as they say? And listen, I love protein. It's essential for blood sugar regulation, for muscle repair, and for staying full, but somewhere along the way, we jumped from protein is healthy to let's have 30 grams of it in every single thing that we eat. And here's why this isn't exactly working the way people intend it to. First, most protein fortified foods are just still processed junky foods. If you put protein in a brownie, it doesn't make the brownie healthy. They're often missing fiber, micronutrients, and healthy fats. Those are the things that actually keep your hormones and your digestive system happy and healthy. Overdoing protein, especially from protein powders, can cause digestive issues like bloating and constipation, or that super heavy brick in the stomach feeling. A lot of my clients assume that when their stomach feels bad, there's something inherently wrong with their gut, when in reality, it's just that too much protein concentrate too quickly is just too much for the digestive system to handle. And when we fill our whole day with protein snacks, we're unintentionally crowding out those healthy fats, those healthy carbohydrates, and other foods that actually nourish us, like vegetables and fruits, whole grains, and all the other plant diversity that our body needs, so our microbiome ends up taking a hit. So the solution isn't to avoid all protein, it's to use that protein strategically. Here's what actually works instead. Start with balanced meals that include proteins, healthy fats, and fibers. Aim for a reasonable protein target, not bodybuilder levels, unless you actually are a bodybuilder or training like one, of course. Use protein powder as a tool, not a whole lifestyle. One shake, one fortified snack a day is plenty for most people. And if you want to feel satisfied for longer, don't just add protein. Also add fat and fiber to help stabilize your blood sugar and to help feel fuller for longer. Because the truth is, most people don't feel better maxing out on protein every day. They feel better from balanced eating and actually enjoying their food. Because if we're honest, those protein snacks don't really taste that good. So protein is great, but protein everything, not so much. Trend number 2 is gummy vitamins, gummy minerals, gummy nutrients in general. And listen, I really get why these are so popular. They taste like candy, they're cute, they feel fun, and they're very low effort to take. But that can also end up being the problem. Most gummy supplements are not as effective as people seem to think. First, they contain lower dosages than capsules or liquids because the nutrients have to be mixed with gelatin, with pectin, with sugars, with coloring, with stabilizers. There just isn't enough room for a meaningful amount of vitamins or minerals. You think you're getting your nutrients, but you're actually barely scratching the surface of what your body actually needs. Second, gummies tend to lose their potency over a period of time, a lot more faster than the capsules and the liquids and the tablets. Heat, humidity, and time degrade them, so if they end up sitting in a warm bathroom cabinet or a warm warehouse, or when they're loaded on a truck during transit time, they can lose their potency much faster than the alternative capsules and the liquid. Third, and most importantly, gummies tend to have sugar in them, and when you look at the label, it might not seem like that big of a deal. It seems like you're just having a couple of grams of sugar, when in reality, if you have 2 4 or even 6 gummies, you can end up having your whole daily amount of sugar and just a few gummy vitamins. So for some people, that can lead to a lot of unintentional digestive upset or even contribute to blood sugar swings. All of this when you're actually trying to fix the nutrient issue that you're having. And here's what I often see. People take gummies because they feel health conscious. They think that they need to be taking vitamins in order to be more healthy, and the supplement that they're taking in gummy form isn't actually correcting the deficiency or supporting the system that they're trying to improve. So what works better? Choose capsules or liquid supplements when possible. They are more stable and they are more potent. Get labs done. If you suspected a deficiency, you should get tested instead of playing by guesswork. And whenever you can, try to get your nutrients from actual food. Supplements are meant to supplement your food intake, not replace it. So gummies aren't inherently evil or bad. It's just that they're not the nutritional powerhouses that the marketing claims that they are. The marketing is just that, marketing. They're trying to sell a product. They may or may not make you more healthy over the long term. So basically, I always feel like gummies are candy with a side of vitamins. Use them if you genuinely need the convenience, but don't make them the main source of all of your micronutrients. Trend number 3 is a blanket gut health protocol that's supposed to work on every single person. These are programs or supplements that promise to fix everyone's bloating, everyone's IBS, everyone's constipation in 30 days with one magic routine. And somehow this one-size-fits-all gut reset will work, whether you have stress, low stomach acid, dysbiosis, your period, or the fact that you had takeout 3 nights in a row. No judgment here. And here's the truth. The gut isn't one single thing. It's digestion, absorption, motility, the microbiome, hormones, the nervous system. Everything is connected. So when we try to fix all of these problems with one universal plan, we're actually missing what the body really needs to begin with. Here are some of the biggest issues with the blanket one-size-fits-all gut health protocols. First, they often rely on restriction of food groups and piling on a whole bunch of supplements that may or may not work. That can create fear around food and make your digestion even more sensitive. Second, they don't identify the root cause of your symptoms. 2 people can have bloating, for example, and one person might have it because they have low stomach motility. The other person isn't chewing well. One is stressed out and eating in a rush, and one might have low stomach acid, because bloating might have several different root causes, and one treatment isn't going to fix every one of those causes. And these programs create the belief that gut healing is this big, dramatic, intense thing, but most people need help with the basics, not a stack of 40 different supplements that may or may not work. So what actually works instead? Start with small foundational habits that actually support digestion no matter who you are. First, eat consistent meals instead of grazing all day long. Slow down and take a few deep breaths before you begin your meal. Support hydration, especially in the morning, and get enough sleep. Your gut motility actually depends on this. Add in gentle movement throughout your daily routine to stimulate digestion. Once those pieces are in place, then you can look to adding customized support, like identifying which fibers you should be eating, experimenting with probiotics, or working with an Ayurvedic practitioner for any issues that you may have surrounding your specific dosha or any digestive imbalances that you may have. But the bottom line is that your gut is unique. Your symptoms have a story, and you deserve more than just a rinse and repeat cookie cutter protocol that supposedly treats everyone the same. So focus on building a foundation for gut health that actually works for you. Trend number 4 is a big one: over pathologizing ourselves. And honestly, this one usually starts by coming from a very good place. People want answers for their health concerns. They want to understand their symptoms, but somewhere along the way, we have started turning every single discomfort or sensation in our body into a diagnosis. For example, if we're exhausted after a long work week, then we're suddenly convinced that we have adrenal fatigue. Or if we're nervous over a presentation that we're about to give, we must have nervous system dysregulation. Or if we have PMS, we think something is fundamentally wrong with our hormones. And here's the problem. When we label every feeling, fluctuation, or stressful moment as a condition, we actually create a lot more anxiety around it, not less. Start monitoring ourselves constantly, worrying that every single sensation means that there's something wrong with us. And we end up disconnecting from the fact that our bodies are meant to fluctuate and feel different every single day. First, many of the things that people pathologize about is actually a normal response to life. Stress, not drinking enough water, poor sleep, or just being human. And second, self-diagnosis can pull you in the wrong direction. If you assume that you have a hormonal imbalance, but the problem actually lies in your busy work schedule or an inconsistent eating pattern or a lack of sleep, then you're treating the wrong cause. Third, labeling every single symptom can create an identity around it. My hormones are broken, my gut is damaged, I'm dysregulated. And when we identify with that label, it actually becomes a lot harder for us to heal, especially if it's the wrong label. So what actually works instead? Practice body awareness without catastrophizing. Not every sensation that we have is a crisis. Also look at long-term patterns, not one-off moments. Your bodily systems are long-term communicators. Support your basics: consistent meals, sleep, hydration, movement, and stress management. These correct a lot more symptoms than people realize. And if something does feel off long-term, please consult someone who's actually trained to assess your situation, such as a doctor or any other healthcare professional, not a quiz from TikTok. Because the truth is, you're not broken, your body isn't failing, it's communicating. And sometimes we just need to zoom out, soften the labels, and give ourselves a little more compassion. So instead of trying to diagnose every single feeling, try supporting your whole lifestyle first. That's where people see genuine, lasting, long-term improvements in their health and well-being. And this leads us to trend number 5, tracking every single little thing. The tracking every single little thing that our bodies do. Our steps, calories, heart rate, HRV, sleep cycles, respiratory rates, macros, weight, stress scores, you name it, and we track it. It's like we've turned being human into a full-time data analysis job, and we're still stressed out, and we're still more exhausted than ever before. And listen, I'm not anti-tracking. These tools can actually be really helpful when we're trying to understand our long-term habits, but here's where this trend goes wrong. First, tracking can become all-consuming. People start making decisions based on numbers rather than how they feel. For example, if you wake up one morning and you feel really good and rested and refreshed, but you get a notification from your watch saying that your sleep score was low, you've created a lot of unnecessary anxiety. Second, having too much data can actually disconnect you from your body. You're constantly checking metrics instead of checking in with yourself. And you're exercising to close rings, not because you actually want to have the movement. And third, all of this monitoring can actually activate the stress response. The pressure to be perfect with your steps, your heart rate, your macros, it pulls you out of balance and puts you into performance mode, which actually can spike your stress response and create a lot of unnecessary anxiety. And honestly, most people don't need 40 data points about their bodies every single day. What we really need is better sleep, consistent meals, a calmer mind, and a little fresh air. So what actually works instead? Pick 2 or 3 metrics to monitor daily that actually do improve your health, not 40. Use tracking as a tool, not a judgment or a scorecard. Take regular breaks from your device and work on what I call body intuition reset, and practice turning back into internal cues such as hunger, fullness, energy, tension, and mood. Because ultimately, the goal isn't to become a better tracker. The goal is to feel good in your life, and an app can't really measure that. So give yourself permission to simplify. You're allowed to stop tracking everything and start trusting the signals that your body is actually giving you. And finally, trend number 6, fiber maxing. This trend says if a little fiber is good, then 40 to 60 grams of fiber a day is amazing. And our digestive systems are over here like, I did not sign up for this. And I swear, some of us are one chia pudding away from launching ourselves into the stratosphere. And fiber is great. It supports blood sugar, digestion, fullness, and our gut microbiome. But somewhere along the way, we went from fiber is helpful to our health to shovel in as much as humanly possible and just hope for the best. And here's why that actually doesn't work. First, too much fiber too fast can cause bloating, gas, constipation, or diarrhea. Fiber needs water and movement to do its job. Without those two things, it just sits there and ferments. Second, not all fiber is the same. There's soluble fiber, which is a gentle, soothing, gel-like substance, and there's insoluble fiber, which is roughage, and it creates bulk in our stool. If someone with a sensitive gut maxes out on insoluble fiber, they are going to be miserable. Third, high fiber snacks, powders, and fortified foods can actually end up crowding out other nutrients, especially proteins and healthy fats, which leads to blood sugar crashing and cravings later on in the day. And for many people, the issue isn't not enough. And for many people, the issue isn't not enough fiber. It's inconsistent meals, dehydration, stress, or not chewing your food well enough. And an increase in daily fiber intake is not going to fix those things. So what actually works instead? Increase fiber slowly, like 3 to 5 grams per week, not 25 grams overnight. Balance soluble fiber with insoluble fiber sources. Pair fiber with adequate water. Aim for steady hydration throughout the day. Add gentle movement after meals to support motility in your digestive tract. And match your fiber to your digestion. Your body, not Instagram, gets the final say. Because your gut isn't a competition, and more fiber doesn't mean better health if your body isn't handling it well. So instead of fiber maxing, try fiber mindfully. Your digestive system will be much more happier for it. So I want to know, what are some of the craziest wellness trends that you've heard of? Have you tried them? Let me know in the comment section below. And if you like this kind of content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.